Let me ask you a brutal question. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you work, you just cannot get ahead? You earn money. You try to save. You try to be responsible. And yet somehow, at the end of the month, you are right back where you started. If that sounds familiar, I need you to understand something very important. It might not be your income that is the problem. It might not even be your job. It might be two invisible mental traps that are quietly draining your financial future. These traps are subtle. They feel normal. They feel logical. And that is exactly why they are so dangerous. Today, we are going to expose them. Not just define them, we are going to break them down. See how they show up in real life. And most importantly, learn how to avoid them. Because once you see them clearly, you cannot unsee them. And that awareness alone can change your financial destiny. Let us start with the first trap. The first trap is what I call the "I will start when" mentality. This trap sounds harmless. It sounds responsible. It even sounds smart. It goes like this: I will start investing when I earn more. I will start saving when my expenses go down. I will start building a business when I have more time. I will get serious about money when life calms down. Do you hear it? That quiet postponement, that constant delay. The belief that your financial life begins in the future. Here is the painful truth. For most people, later never comes. There is always another expense. There is always another emergency. There is always another reason to wait. Life does not suddenly get easier. Responsibilities rarely decrease. They usually increase, and if you build the habit of postponing financial action, you train your brain to always delay progress. Let me tell you a story. I once spoke to a man in his early 30s. He said, "I will start investing when I hit a six-figure salary." At the time, he was making $40,000 a year. 5 years later, he reached $90,000. Guess what he said then? "I will start when I hit 6 figures." 2 years later, he hit $105,000. Do you know what happened? His lifestyle had expanded. Bigger apartment, better vacations, more subscriptions. Now he said, "I will start once I stabilize my new expenses." Years passed. He was earning more than he ever imagined in his 20s, and he still had not started. The problem was never his income. The problem was his pattern. He believed wealth required perfect conditions, but wealth is built in imperfect conditions. It is built in chaos. It is built while things are messy. It is built while you are busy. Here is something most people do not understand. Starting small is infinitely more powerful than waiting for perfect. If you invest $50 a month consistently, you are building the identity of an investor. If you save even 10% of a modest income, you are building the identity of someone who pays themselves first. Identity matters more than amount, because identity shapes behavior, and behavior shapes outcomes. When you say, "I will start later," you are not just delaying money, you are delaying the person you need to become. Think about compound interest for a moment. Everyone talks about it, few truly respect it. Compound interest does not just reward large amounts, it rewards time. Time is the secret ingredient. And every year you wait, you are not just missing 1 year of growth. You are missing growth on top of growth on top of growth. Imagine two people. Person A starts investing at 25. They invest a small amount every month. Person B waits until 35 because they wanted a higher salary. Person B invests double the amount. Guess who often ends up with more money by retirement? The one who started earlier, not the one who invested more. That is the power of time. And when you fall into the "I will start when" trap, you are sacrificing time. You are trading your most powerful financial weapon for temporary comfort. Let me challenge you. What if the conditions you are waiting for are not required? What if you do not need more money to start? What if you need more discipline? What if you do not need more time? What if you need fewer excuses? This trap keeps you poor because it keeps you passive, and passivity is expensive. Now let us move to the second trap. This one is even more dangerous. It feels good. It feels justified. It feels like self-care. I call it the I deserve it trap. This trap whispers to you after a long week, you worked hard, you had a stressful day, you deserve this. And maybe it is a small purchase, a dinner out, a new gadget, a spontaneous shopping spree. Maybe it is something bigger, a car you cannot truly afford, a vacation that goes on a credit card, an upgrade to impress people who are not even paying attention. Here is the problem. The feeling of I deserve it is real, but the financial consequence is also real, and the two rarely match. You deserve rest. You deserve happiness. You deserve fulfillment. But debt disguised as reward is not fulfillment. It is a future burden. Let me paint a picture. Imagine someone earns $3,000 a month. They spend $2,500 on essentials. They technically have $500 left. Instead of investing $300 and enjoying $200, they spend the full $500 every single month because they deserve it, because they worked hard, because life is short. Now fast forward 5 years. They have invested nothing. They have built no assets. They have created no passive income, but they have memories of small pleasures that are long forgotten. Meanwhile, someone else with the same income made a different choice. They still enjoyed life, but they controlled the I deserve it voice. They automated investments first. They treated investing like a bill. Then, they spent what remained without guilt. 5 years later, that person has options. Options create freedom. Freedom reduces stress. Stress reduction increases happiness. Ironically, discipline created more enjoyment than impulsive rewards ever did. Here is the deeper psychological truth. The I deserve it trap is often compensation. It is emotional spending. It is a response to frustration. It is a reward for surviving a life you secretly do not like. Instead of changing the life, people buy small escapes. But small escapes are expensive when repeated weekly. And the worst part? Each purchase resets your progress. You spend. You start again at zero. It becomes a treadmill, movement without advancement. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. How many of your purchases in the last 6 months were truly aligned with your long-term goals? And how many were emotional reactions? Be honest, because awareness is power. There is nothing wrong with enjoying money. Money is a tool. It is meant to be used. But when enjoyment constantly overrides strategy, you stay stuck. Wealthy people also enjoy life. They also buy nice things, but they usually follow a sequence. Invest first, spend second. Most struggling people reverse that sequence. Spend first, invest if there is anything left, and usually there is nothing left. That is the trap. It feels small in the moment, but over years, it becomes massive. Let me tell you about a woman I once met. She loved fashion. Every time she felt stressed, she bought clothes. Her closet was full, overflowing. Yet she often said she had nothing to wear. She was earning a decent salary, but she had no savings, no investments. When we calculated her spending, we discovered she was spending nearly $8,000 a year on clothes. $8,000 invested consistently over 10 years. That money could have grown significantly. Instead, it was hanging in her closet, losing value. When she realized this, she did not feel guilt. She felt clarity. She did not stop buying clothes forever. She set a fixed monthly budget. She automated investments. She redirected the rest toward building assets. Within 3 years, her financial situation transformed. Not because she earned more, but because she broke the trap. Here's the connection between the two traps. The first trap says, I will start later. The second trap says, I deserve it now. One delays discipline. The other accelerates indulgence. Together, they create financial stagnation. You postpone investing, and you justify spending. That combination is lethal to wealth. Now, I want to give you a powerful shift. Instead of saying, I will start when I earn more, say, I will start with what I have. Instead of saying, I deserve to spend because I worked hard, say, I deserve a strong financial future. Do you feel the difference? One focuses on short-term emotion. The other focuses on long-term empowerment. Let us get practical. If you're caught in the first trap, start ridiculously small. Automate $20 a week. Automate $50 a month. The amount is less important than the habit. Make it automatic. Remove willpower from the equation. If you are caught in the second trap, create a guilt-free spending plan. Decide in advance how much fun money you have. Spend it freely. Enjoy it fully. But do not cross the line. Structure creates freedom. Chaos creates stress. And remember this: financial success is rarely about intelligence. It is about behavior. It is about consistency. It is about avoiding self-sabotage. Most people do not fail financially because they lack opportunity. They fail because of repeated small decisions that feel harmless. A delayed investment here, an impulsive purchase there, year after year, until they wake up and wonder where the time went. Time is moving, whether you act or not. The market is growing whether you participate or not. Opportunities are compounding, whether you are involved or not. The question is simple, because 10 years from now, you will not regret starting too early. You will regret waiting. You will not regret investing consistently. You will regret every year you told yourself, next year. You will not regret saying no to a few impulsive purchases. You will regret the stress of financial insecurity. Let me give you a final image. Imagine your future self standing in front of you. 10 years older, 10 years wiser. That version of you does not care about the random things you almost bought. That version of you cares about stability, about freedom, about choices, about not being trapped in a job you hate, about being able to help family, about sleeping peacefully at night. Every time you face one of these traps, imagine that future version watching you, asking you one question. Are you building me up or are you holding me back? Because that is what this really is. It is not about money. It is about alignment. It is about becoming the type of person who acts today in favor of tomorrow. The world will always tempt you to consume. Ads will tell you that happiness is one purchase away. Society will tell you that you need to show success before you build it. Friends might pressure you to keep up. But true wealth is quiet. It is patient. It is built in private. It is built when no one is watching. It is built when you choose discipline over delay. It is built when you choose strategy over impulse. So, here is your challenge. This week, identify one action you have been postponing, even if it is tiny, and identify one spending pattern driven by I deserve it. Restructure it. Not with guilt, with intention. Because avoiding these two choose to deserve freedom more than fleeting pleasure. And watch what happens when you finally stop sabotaging yourself. Because once you break these two traps, you are no longer drifting. You are building and building, my friend, is how wealth is truly created.